Women's world champion Hou Yifan shocks the world by throwing a chess game in protest in Gibraltar. Magnus Carlsen shocks the field, showing up for Chess.com's Title Tuesday, playing in his first and winning his first event. We take a look ahead to the Women's World Championship getting set to start in Tehran, Iran, just before making the big announcement of the 2017 Speed Chess Championship. You don't want to miss who's already signed up for our flagship tournament. It's ChessCenter, full of information that you need to know. So take a seat, don't hurt yourself, and let's jump in. Hikaru Nakamura almost didn't win his third Gibraltar Chess Festival in a row, but win it he did. Simon, tell everybody the final combination that he played here against Grandmaster David Anton.
Well, it was a lovely combination. I was actually commentating live, and in this position, you can see that Hikaru has a lot of play on the H file and the G file. And he now took off with Rook takes H7 check, which is a fantastic combination. And Black has to recapture, King takes H7, and now the Queen flies in with check, only one move, Queen to H6. And after the Queen exchange, Hikaru goes a piece up. So quite an easy tactic for Hikaru, but still a great way to win the Gibraltar competition for his third time in a row.
Absolutely. Now, this one here was not maybe as important as winning your third Gibraltar Chess Festival, but tell everybody what Black played in this position and how he brilliantly finished off an amazing game from the Pro Chess League last week.
Yeah, I mean, this was fantastic. I love this combination because it's one of those ones like you're sticking like the dagger into someone here with the brilliant move, Rook to E3, going right into the position. And the point behind this move is that, of course, if White captures this Rook, it opens up the other Rook after D takes E3. And with that Rook coming into D2, that's just too powerful. So White had to try something else, and he tried Knight to E4. But after Queen to C6 here, there was too much pressure on this knight. Okay, White took on E3, so the combination's quite a long one. I'd say it's a bit harder than a Hikaru one. But after Queen B1, Rook D4, Black has this awesome attack here. He's going to win the piece back on E4 and the pawn on E3. Eddie the eagle, Eddie the strong pawn is probably going to become a queen as well. So a very nice combination there. And that's probably my favourite one, Danny, of the week, I think.
The chess world was abuzz this week because of the actions of the reigning women's world champion to bring the Gibraltar Chess Festival to a close, but perhaps they weren't getting attention from the general media for reasons we would like. Here to report on what happened first is international master Anna Rudolph.
Indeed, Danny, it was Yifan who shocked the whole world by playing a very strange game in the last round of the Gibraltar Chess Festival. It was against the Indian grandmaster Babu Lalit. Yifan turned up at the board 25 minutes late, and then she started with 1 G4, clearly aiming for the fool's mate. She resigned 4 moves later. It appears that she was protesting against the pairing system of the festival. She was not happy about playing 7 women out of the first 9 games. She said that this is not something that seems to be fair, and there must have been something wrong.
Interesting stuff, but Alexandra, over to you now. With that claim, was the world champion, did she have a point to make?
So there have been reports of international arbiters duplicating the pairings and getting the same result. And this tends to be the angle that most media sources are taking, saying that they were fair, computer generated, and they don't understand why Hou Yifan did the protest. What hasn't been covered, however, is that there has been discussion on whether Gibraltar, because of women's prizes, has some sort of incentive to weigh their algorithm towards pairing more women towards each other. It seems that Hou Yifan did think this was true and thought the pairings were really weird and unusual, so we can understand why she would make this protest if that were the case.
Well, you hope she would have good reasons for a protest like that because she had a lot to lose. Anna, how much was on the line with this game, and have we ever seen statements made like this from former world champions?
Well, it's not really likely that somebody would like to lose a game on purpose. She lost rating points, she fell out of the top women's prizes, and also she damaged her image as a women's world champion, not respecting the game of chess. It has happened a few times in chess history, for instance, at the 1972 match between Bobby Fischer and Boris Spassky when Fischer didn't turn up. He was clearly protesting against the organizers, not accepting his rules, how he thought that the game should go, how the match conditions should be. And then it happened in 2006 between Kramnik and Topalov, when Kramnik was accused of cheating and he didn't turn up at Game 5.
So she wasn't the first world champion to make such a statement, but time will tell if she had the right or some points to really make as more about this story unfolds. We thank you both for joining us and for giving us the scoop.
White is clearly winning after playing a brilliant ending, and the commentators at the time were saying, come on, just resign, Black, but this shows you that you should never resign too early. Well, okay, that's the theory. And here, of course, White can win very easily by playing knight to a3 check and just eliminating Black's last dangerous pawn, the pawn on c2. But instead of doing this, he played knight d2 check, which is obviously going the wrong way. The king came to b2. And again, he has the opportunity of repeating the position with knight to c4 check. But once you make one mistake, it's very easy to make another mistake. And after knight to b3, Black had this very clever move a4. And now the draw is pretty much guaranteed. After the moves f7, pawn takes a3. Both sides manage to queen here, and of course everything gets swapped off into a very drawn ending. So that was a bit of a disappointment there, missing an easy win.
Bit of an understatement to say a bit of a disappointment. I think it might have even cost their team there. Some big news hitting the chess press this week, specifically regarding some upcoming events. Here to give us the scoop is the one and only Peter Dockers.
Yeah, absolutely, Danny. This is about the new FIDE Grand Prix series of 4 tournaments. And the first one is already in 1 week from now in Sharjah, United Arab Emirates. And, well, it's about time, of course, that Aegon published the 24 participants in this series, and it did this week. I'm not going to mention all of them, but it's at the top Maxime Vachier-Lagrave, for example, Levon Aronian, Hikaru Nakamura, and also Anish Giri. Total of 12 players from the current top 20 in those 4 tournaments. Eventually, there will be the top 2 of the series qualifying for the Candidates Tournament next year,
which will ultimately decide who plays Magnus Carlsen. Speaking of the world champion, the biggest news on Chess.com this week was not that he played in one of our events. Tell everybody what that was.
Yeah, that's right, Danny. Magnus Carlsen playing and tying for first in his very first title Tuesday tournament on our website. Pretty amazing stuff this week. But the news I have is even bigger, I think. It's the announcement of the Chess.com Speed Chess Championship. This year it's renamed. It was the Grandmaster Blitz Battle last year. We remember the epic final between Nakamura and Carlsen. And, well, it's going to be even better this year. There will be 16 players instead of 8. There will be a couple of qualifying tournaments in April, and then, again, a number of great matches. And we have some big names already signed their contract, I should say. That's, for example, Levon Aronian, Alexander Grishuk, Hikaru Nakamura, Maxime Vachier-Lagrave. So another amazing event is awaiting us. And in fact, I should also mention the prize fund, $50,000 this year.
The event on everyone's calendar this month is, of course, the Women's World Chess Championship getting set to start in Tehran, Iran. Here to report first on the major storylines heading into the event is Women's FIDE Master Alexandra Botez.
As a reminder, there was an explosion of media coverage surrounding Nazi's decision not to play in the Women's World Championship as a way of protesting the forced wearing of a hijab. And in the days leading up to the World's Women's Championship, media coverage surrounding the controversy has died down, which begs the question of whether it's just business as usual and if the protests were even effective. I think it's important to remember that media isn't everything, and the protest did lead to top players not participating in the World Championship, as well as, if you consider Hou Yifan's decision not to play, you start questioning whether the Women's World Championship really represents the best female players in the world.
Yeah, great points there. And with the event getting set to start, though, let's now focus on the chess that will actually be played there in Tehran. Anna, on that note, who are the best players, and tell everybody a little bit about the format and what they can expect.
The top seed is Zhu Wenjun, who's coming from an excellent tournament in Gibraltar. She was the best female player there. She won the Women's Grand Prix in December, so I think that she is a clear favorite to win. Also, Anna Muzichuk, who is the reigning world rapid and blitz champion, she won in December, so they are both in excellent shape. Number 3 is Alexandra Kostenyuk, a former women's world champion. And I think we should also watch out for Valentina Gunina, who scored an excellent 9 out of 10 at the Super Rapid at the London Chess Classic, ahead of Super Grandmasters, male Grandmasters.
So with the big names missing, it seems, though, that we will still have lots of dynamic, aggressive chess played by those ladies. We will see what the storylines shape out to be and whether the hijab controversy comes up again. The Gibraltar Chess Festival was the biggest event that came to a close over the last week or so. And here to report on the final standings and how things broke down is international master Anna Rudolph.
The sole leader with 1 round to go was the Spanish grandmaster David Anton. If he had won against Mickey Adams in the last round, he would have claimed the title. But since this game was drawn, both Yu Yangyi and Hikaru Nakamura managed to catch up with him, which led to a 3-4 tie and playoffs. That's so exciting. David Anton had the best performance, so he qualified for the finals, while Yu Yangyi and Hikaru Nakamura had to face each other. 4-game match, first rapid, then blitz. Hikaru managed to win in the blitz games, qualified for the finals, and then convincingly beat David Anton 1.5-half, which is a proof that the American star is in an excellent shape after winning gold for the US team at the Olympiad and being the runner-up at the Grand Chess Tour. He wins Gibraltar for the 3rd time in a row and the first prize of the £23,000. What do you think about that, Danny?
I think it was a fantastic come-from-behind victory, as Jose Diaz's cartoon showed right here. A very funny take on Hikaru Nakamura stealing his 3rd title from Gibraltar. Zhu Wenjun, of course, wrapped up the top female prize, but we appreciate you breaking down that entire playoff for us, Anna. Simon, do you think Kronmik should have accepted his invitation to play in the FIDE Grand Prix, given that he's been complaining that there aren't enough classical tournament time controls these days?
Well, you know, Kramnik's getting a bit old now, Danny. I think he's been world champion. He's chilling out. He should play more chess. He's clearly one of the best chess players in the world, but I think he's getting to that age where he wants to retire, get his slippers out, Danny. So I think he's, that's it. And staying with the Grand Prix, Danny, I mean, do you think that a format change is needed in order to, motivate the world's top 5 players to play? Because, it's a big tournament.
I think you and I both know there's only one thing that really motivates the top 5 players in the world to play, and that is money talks, and we know what walks. But let's walk back to the Rock and ask you a question about the prizes given out there. Do you think it's fair that women players in the event have the opportunity to win 2 prizes and not just 1 if they do indeed tie for a top prize?
Well, I think it's called positive discrimination, and if it encourages shall we say, minorities to play, then I say go for it, and I think it does. You saw the amount of women playing at Gibraltar, so yeah, I'd say a big yes. And speaking of the Rock, Danny, you probably noticed the Battle of the Sexes game is very popular. Do you think it's popular enough maybe to get its own TV show?
Why not? These days they put everybody on TV for doing things that they shouldn't even be famous for, so why not throw men and women battling over a giant chessboard on a TV show? I think Fox is going to put their name on that. Let's go back to Chess.com and say that Magnus played in his first title Tuesday and won his first title Tuesday, but what the fans really wanted to know last week was, where was Simon Williams' commentary?
Well, I was very tempted to play Danny, and the problem was, as soon as I saw Magnus had entered, I'm like, why didn't I play? Because, of course, I'd have crushed him. I'd have crushed everyone in that tournament. Forget about Magnus, the Ginger GM would have done it. But, okay, next time, maybe. Next time, Danny. And, speaking of Magnus, rumour has it he may be playing in the Pro League on Saturday. Is this rumour maybe? Is it true? Any truth in it?
I'll leave the fans with the teaser that they have to tune into Chess.com TV on Saturday, watch the Pro Chess League, and see not only Magnus Carlsen, if he's playing, but also Fabiano Caruana, Wesley So, Maxime Vachier-Lagrave. So if you're not tuning in to watch the Pro Chess League, that is a you problem.
So definitely 4 very strong tournaments, and yeah, what it would.
You were doing good, though. I liked it. And then you, big news this week. Of course, we are now joined by Peter Doggers to give us the latest on the upcoming FIDE Grand Prix series. I really hate how I did that. Let's just start again. Sorry. And
I have to chase away my cat.
Oh, Kitty's here. #BlooperFest.